Chapter 4: Sorting Materials into Groups. Objects around us. When you look around in your class, you may find blackboard, chalk, desks, tables, chairs, fans, tube lights, cupboards, bags, books, etc. Now look around in your bedroom. You may find a bed, chair, table, cupboard, clothes, shoes, computer, etc. In the kitchen, you may find utensils, gas stove, cylinder, microwave, raw food materials, water, milk, etc. In the drawing room, you may find sofa, table, television, carpet, tube lights, bulbs, curtains, decorative items, etc. Now look around in a playground or a park. In a park, you may find different kinds of rides, dogs roaming, children playing, plants, grass, iron grill, cemented pathways to walk, etc. What do you understand from all these observations? You understand that there are many kinds of things in the world. Some of these are living and some are non-living. All of these have different shapes, colors, and uses. They may be made of one or more than one kind of material, such as cotton, glass, metal, mud, paper, plastics, and wood. The use of a thing or material depends on its properties and requirements. For example, you need a bed to sleep, a chair to sit, food to eat, and a television to entertain yourself. Also, for making jewelry, the materials should be shining. For constructing buildings, the materials should be strong. Properties of materials: you use different things according to your requirement and according to their properties. Why do you wear cotton clothes in summer? This is because cotton is light and a good absorbent of sweat. Similarly, you wear woolen clothes in winter because they trap body heat and keep your body warm. The properties of materials make them suitable for particular use. For example, in order to store liquids like water, milk, tea, coffee, and juice, you would use glass, plastic, or steel tumblers. So, what are all the properties of materials that would be important for their usage? Some properties are discussed here. Appearance: different kinds of materials such as wood, metal, plastic, glass, and pottery look different from each other. Even different metals such as iron, copper, aluminum, and zinc appear different from each other. At the same time, they have some similarities too. Some materials appear too shiny or are lustrous while others are dull. Let us perform following activity 3 to understand it better. Hardness: some materials cannot be pressed with hands or scratched or cut easily. Such materials are hard. For example, wood, glass, a piece of stone, metal key, and an iron nail are hard materials. In fact, most mate are hard. Materials which can be compressed with hands or scratched or cut easily are soft. For example, cotton and sponge are soft materials. A more hard substance can scratch or cut a less hard substance. Thus, diamond is used to cut glass. Hard substances, metals, and stones are used to make cutting tools. In appearance, materials can have different properties, like luster, hardness, be rough or smooth. Can you think of other properties that describe the appearance of a material? Soluble or insoluble water is usually taken as a standard to check if different materials are soluble or not. If a substance dissolves or mixes completely in water, it is said to be soluble. And if it does not dissolve or mix at all, it is said to be insoluble. Salt and sugar dissolve completely in water. When you add salt or sugar to water, it disappears soon. Let us perform activity 4 to see what happens when you add different materials to water, whether they dissolve completely or not. We notice that some liquids get completely mixed with water. Some others do not mix with water and form a separate layer when kept aside for some time. Some gases are soluble in water, whereas others are not. Water usually has small quantities of some gases dissolved in it. For example, oxygen gas dissolved in water is very important for the survival of animals and plants that live in water. Objects may float or sink in water while doing activity 4. You might have noticed that the insoluble solids separated out from water. You may have also noticed this with some liquids in activity 5. Some of these materials that did not mix with water floated to the surface of water. Others may have sunk to the bottom of the tumbler. Right. We notice many examples of objects that float in water or sink. Dried leaves fallen on the surface of a pond, a stone that you throw into this pond, few drops of honey that you let fall into a glass of water. What happens to all of these? Transparency: while traveling in cars or buses, you are able to see through windows which are made of glass but not through the metallic body. but in winter you cannot see clearly even through the glass windows because of the frost on them, which makes them less transparent. Based on transparency or the ability to see through, materials can be classified as follows. 1. Transparent materials. Materials through which you can see clearly are called transparent materials. Light passes fully through these materials. For example, glass window. Some plastics and acrylic sheets are transparent in nature. 2. Translucent materials. Materials through which you can see only partially are called translucent materials. Light passes only partially through these materials. For example, oily paper, thin muslin. Cloth, butter paper, and frosted glass are translucent in nature. 3. Opaque materials. Materials through which you cannot see at all are called opaque materials. Light does not pass at all through these materials. For example, wood, wall made of concrete, metal sheet, notebook, and paper are opaque materials. Properties of a few commonly used materials. 1. Wood, dull appearance, hard, rough, insoluble, lower density than water, opaque. 2. Metal, shiny appearance, hard, smooth, insoluble, higher density than water, opaque. 3. Plastic, dull appearance, can be hard or soft, insoluble, smooth, lower density than water, can be opaque or translucent. For glass, shiny appearance, hard, smooth, insoluble, higher density than water, can be transparent or translucent.